Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Thank you so much for coming today. We really appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedules and joining us this morning for some fabulous eggs that Joy makes. This morning we have some exciting topic. It's Jeff Tech. I'm sure everyone's heard of Jeff Tech, but I'm sure they don't know all the changes that have been implemented in the past few years. So I wanted to give them an opportunity to speak and tell you what's new. I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Ettaro, the digital media teacher, instructor at the school. So, thank you.
Thank you. Well, good morning.
Good morning.
It is a beautiful morning, and I really appreciate the opportunity. Thank you for Jamie and your group for everything that y'all do in the community to promote economic development, to promote education, to promote partnerships, and for my team from Jeff Tech with Rose Weaver here talking about cooperative education, and Megan Bundy is going to discuss opportunities that exist within adult education. And my new marketing assistant, Lexi Douglas, a lovely young lady, a junior in my digital media class that we just recently hired through Co-op to give us a little bit more oomph in terms of our marketing abilities to tell the great story that is Jeff Tech and all the success stories. As Rose said, we've been around for many years. You all know of Jeff Tech. Many people are not aware of the depth of service and the depth of education that people are getting at the school, not just youth in the community, but business and community leaders, as well as adults in the community that are looking to further their life education and hopefully find what we refer to as their life calling or their vocation. How many of you all here have a vocation? Right? You know what that means, a job. You look in Merriam-Webster's dictionary and they're going to define that for you as a particular career pathway or a job. But there's so much more to it than that. Hopefully we're going to enlighten you as to where we are with Jeff Tech today and discuss with you and excite you about some of the opportunities to partner with us within these realms. So Lexi, we'll go ahead and get started. Our agenda today will include a brief introduction to Jeff Tech, the overview of the various aspects of the school, what is a career in technical education, why is career in technical education and a facility, a community, a family such as Jeff Tech so important to the broader region, how does it help individual students and with community growth, and I bring into that economic development as well. Opportunities for you to partner with Jeff Tech. We're going to discuss online linkages, I should say, through the use of social media and web projects. Our occupational advisory committees, if you're not aware what that is, you need to be, you should be, and we welcome your involvement to guide the educational process. And there's some exciting opportunities for you to get involved with that in terms of marketing as well. Alumni Association. We've graduated many people. How many people here maybe perhaps graduated from Jeff Tech? Nobody in the room? I'm sure you all know very successful people in your lives that have come out of that school. And we want to focus on that, lift up and tell those success stories. And as business and community leaders, it's vital that you involve yourself in that process. Help us find the people in the community that have been successful and help us tell those stories. Cooperative education, we'll hear from Rose Weaver on that. Adult education, Megan Bundy on that. And lastly, if we have the time, we would like to discuss with you my program with the digital media arts and how we're bringing all of these successes together, leveraging the power of digital media, finding this spark in young people that have this love of this technology and putting them to work for the betterment of the community and for their school while they're learning the skills they need to succeed in very dynamic, high-tech fields that are just exploding. So I'm not sure how much time we have today. We'll kind of base this on, do you have an estimate?
About a half hour.
Okay, and what time do we have? You want to keep an eye for a clock right there? Great. So I think we can get this in about a half hour. Y'all game for a good show?
Sure.
Yes, all right, let's get it going. All right, first off, introduction to Jeff Tech. As we know, Jeff Tech is the short name. No, there is nobody named Jeff. We hear that all the time. Who is Jeff? Jefferson County, Du Bois, AVTS, Area Vocational Technical School. What does that mean? Jeff Tech is a comprehensive career and technical high school We offer exceptional training in 13 career and technical areas. Now, what does comprehensive career and technical high school mean? There is a handful of these in the state of Pennsylvania. We are a shining gem amongst them, and that means that the students receive their academic classes at the school as well. So when they choose, we came up with a slogan many years ago, calling it the school of choice. Exactly that. They can choose to leave their home schools and come to Jeff Tech, and they receive their academics there, half day, and then they receive what they call the shop, or their specific program area training for the rest of the day. So let's talk a little bit about what career and technical education is. First off, our goal is to get students to graduate with industry recognized certifications or credentials that might be available in their field, trained in specific emerging career trends, and then placed in high demand careers with exposure to post-secondary opportunities should they wish to go on for further training. This is one of the myths that I would like to dispel. If you have in your head this morning that Jeff Tech is the place where kids go that are not intending to go to college or are not right for college, please get rid of that myth. That is simply not the case. I'm not going to go back in the Wayback Machine, not sure where it was back when I was 18 years old in the 70s, but I know where we are today. And there are various pathways available for kids. Entrepreneurship, starting their own business, getting into the more manual trades where maybe college is not necessary, but if they would like to go on for additional post-secondary training, the opportunities exist. All the way down now to an incredibly robust and advanced health assisting program, as well as what we have happening in the IT cluster with our 3 shops. We're definitely preparing students who want to go on for post-secondary education and the life skills they need and the academic skills they need to succeed and go right on into college should they choose to do so. The mission of Jeff Tech ultimately is to prepare our students to be successful citizens and lifelong learners. So, y'all might recognize this man. This is something, a shout out to our new director, Barry Philwin. He loves Mike Rowe and uses this clip to promote career and technical education. So in 2 minutes, I'm gonna let the very famous host of Dirty Jobs explain the concept and why career and technical education is so important as he sits and gives testimony to the United States Congress.
Mike Rowe is the creator and executive producer and host of Discovery Channel's Dirty Jobs.
That's true.
My wife thinks you're terrific.
Your wife has excellent taste, Senator. Thank you. Give her my regards.
I will.
And thank you officially for having me here today. It really is a thrill and an honor. One small thing, the credits for the show are very kind. In truth, I'm more of a guest. I assume the role of an apprentice on Dirty Jobs, and for the last 7 years or so, I've traveled to every state and worked in just about every industry with people you would otherwise never get a chance to know. They're anonymous folks, many times in small towns you wouldn't find on a map, who do the kinds of jobs that make civilized life possible for the rest of us. In the history of TV, it's probably the simplest show ever, but there's some very big themes that run through Dirty Jobs. And over the last 6 or 7 years, I've personally had a front row seat, and I've watched the headlines catch up to a lot of those themes. Thus, the simplest show in TV has become interesting in a way that I never anticipated or intended. I could talk certainly at length about any of the people I've met in the show, and I'm tempted to, but I'd rather take a small portion of my 5 minutes and tell you about my grandfather, because he's the reason ultimately that I decided to come here today. His name was Carl Noble, and he made his living in Baltimore as a master electrician. He was also a plumber and a mechanic, mason, carpenter. Everybody knew him as a jack of all trades. And I remember him mostly as a magician. For most of his life, my granddad woke up clean, and he came home dirty. And in between, he accomplished some things that were nothing short of miraculous to me. Some days he might reshingle a roof or rebuild a motor, run electricity, out to the barn. He helped build the church that I went to as a kid and the farmhouse that I grew up in. Basically, he could fix or build anything, but to my knowledge, he never once read the directions to anything. He just knew how stuff worked. I remember one Saturday morning when I was 12, I flushed the toilet in the same way I had been flushing it for 12 years. The toilet, however, responded in a way that was completely out of character. There was a rumbling sound followed by a distant gurgle, and then everything that had gone down reappeared in a rather violent and spectacular fashion. Naturally, my granddad was called in to investigate, and within the hour, I was invited to join he and my father, who's right behind me there, out in the front yard for about 12 hours of forced labor. There was pipe welding, and there was picks, and there was shovels, and there were blisters and laughter and maybe some questionable language. But by sunset, we were completely filthy. The new pipe was installed. The dirt was back in the hole, and our toilet was back on its best behavior. And it was one of my favorite days ever. 30 years later in San Francisco, my toilet blew up again. And this time I didn't participate in the repair process. I just called my landlord, and I left a check on the kitchen counter, and I went to work. And when I came home, the mess was cleaned up and the problem was solved. As for the actual plumber who did the work, I never even met him. It never occurred to me to meet him. What did occur to me that day was the fact that I had become disconnected from a lot of things that really used to fascinate me growing up. I no longer thought about where my food came from or how my electricity worked or who fixed my pipes or who made my clothes. I didn't think about who made anything. There was no reason to. I was less interested in how things got made, in fact, and more interested in how things got bought. Well, at this point, my granddad was well into his 80s. After a long visit with him one weekend, I decided to do a TV show in his honor. Today, Dirty Jobs is still on the air, and I'm here before you guys hoping to say something useful. So here it is. I believe that we need a national PR campaign for skilled labor, like a big one, something that addresses the widening skills gap head on and reconnects the country with the most important part of our workforce. Right now, American manufacturing is struggling to fill 200,000 vacant positions, I'm told. And there are 450,000 openings today in trades, transportation, and utilities. The skills gap seems real, and it's getting wider. In Alabama, a third of all skilled tradesmen are now over 55. They're retiring fast, and there's really nobody there to replace them. Alabama's not alone. A few months ago in Atlanta, I ran into Tom Vilsack, our Secretary of Agriculture. Tom told me about a governor he knows who was unable to move forward on the construction of a new power plant. The reason I thought was fascinating, it wasn't a lack of funds or a lack of support. It was a lack of qualified welders. In general, people are surprised that high unemployment can exist at the same time as a skilled labor shortage, but they shouldn't be. We've pretty much guaranteed it. In high schools, the vocational arts have all but vanished, and we've elevated the importance of higher education to such a lofty perch that all other forms of knowledge are now labeled as alternative. Millions of parents and kids see apprenticeships and really valuable on-the-job training opportunities as vocational consolation prizes, best suited for those not cut out for a 4-year degree. And still, we talk about creating millions of shovel-ready jobs for a society that doesn't really encourage people to pick up a shovel. In 100 different ways, I think we've slowly marginalized an entire category of critical professions, reshaping our expectations of a good job into something that no longer looks like work. A few years from now, an hour with a good plumber, if you can find one, is going to cost more than an hour with a good psychiatrist, at which point we'll probably all be in need of both. I wanted to come here today because guys like my granddad are no less important to civilized life than they were 50 years ago. Maybe they're in shorter supply today because we don't acknowledge them the way that we used to. We leave our check on the kitchen counter and hope the work gets done. Well, that needs to change. My written testimony includes the details of several initiatives designed to close the skills gap, all of which I've had the privilege to participate in. Go Build Alabama, I Make America, my own modest efforts through Dirty Jobs and Micro Works. I'm especially proud, though, today to announce Discover Your Skills. It's a broad-based initiative from Discovery Communications that I think can change perceptions in a really meaningful way. I encourage you to support these efforts because closing the skills gap doesn't just benefit future tradesmen and the companies who are desperate to hire them. It benefits people like me and anyone else who shares my addiction to paved roads, reliable bridges, heating, air conditioning, and of course indoor plumbing. Something for all of us to consider perhaps during the next bathroom break.
Get it? All of the services within all of the 13 shop areas that are provided by Jeff Tech are essential to the very existence of our lives, the comforts that we enjoy, whether it's food service or automobiles or cosmetology or IT. How many of us rely so much on technology? Are you even aware of the amazing IT academy that sits right in your own backyard, and some of your sons and daughters and relatives that are there taking advantage of these opportunities? So we understand the importance of career and technical education. My hope is when you leave today that you'll engage yourself in the process of continuing this work that we're trying to do at a local level, at a regional level that Mr. Rowe was talking about, at a national level. Let's keep going. So, how do we do it? Well, we get our students inspired. We talk about a vocation as a job, but a vocation is more than just a job. A vocation should be a call to life. A vocation should be that which it is, that a marriage between the skills that somebody has naturally, their natural ability, and their passion with the job, through which the job comes to them because of their passion and because of their skills and why they feel they were put on this planet. We are offering students that direct opportunity to tap into that which who they are, apply that to the job pathway, find the job that fulfills themselves, making themselves happier, more productive members of society, making money, and serving their community. We offer direct real-world training. We create higher quality entry-level employees for all levels of all business within our sector. Offers unique opportunities for local employers to take part in educational processes. Did you know that as an employer, even if you have no background in education, you can come and serve on our occupational advisory committees and guide the educational process? Expand economic development. I have been pounding this for years in this area. We see education as separate from economic development. They're married. They should be treated as such. These opportunities for you to partner with us, market the school, likewise marketing your own businesses, is going to elevate the whole image of our area and provide more opportunities as we're going along and building this process. We have built a community broadcast system. Not even those of you that might be from Du Bois, you may be aware of Du Bois TV. We could do the same thing here for the community of Brookville. Our occupational advisory committees, cooperative education that Rose is going to talk to you about, community service learning projects. This lovely young lady over here came up to me and thanked us for the work that we did for what was the project?
The Veterans Banners for Christmas.
Absolutely.
Light up Brookville.
There we go. And apparently some of the students, I think it was the computer technology shop,
Yeah.
did the banners for this, the graphic design.
And the banners themselves.
Our students are constantly cranking out service learning projects, giving them this opportunity. We're going to talk with you about some more opportunities that are taking place at the school to identify students that have the technical skills, that maybe have the academic skills to succeed, but are looking for learning a little bit more about the soft skills that they need to engage in the workforce. I'm going to share with you a new opportunity that's coming through Jeff Tech. So, occupational advisory committees, what does that mean? Twice a year. If you have a specific interest, if you have a particular pathway that you are on as a business owner, you can lend your expertise and your knowledge to one of our shop areas. You can serve on an occupational advisory committee twice a year, come to the school, sit, listen to the instructor, engage with the instructor, and learn about our program and how we are preparing. Here's Mr. Galuzzi, a recent Teacher of the Year. Runs our culinary arts program. This is our program here. You can see some of the labels and the logos of the businesses that are serving on the Occupational Advisory Committee. You help to guide curriculum. You help to authorize purchases of equipment and educational materials. For without you, we are in the classroom. We need to know, are we preparing our students for what is happening in the real world? That connection, that information has to come from you folks. If you've not served on such, please consider doing so. Lexi has some information for you, and we can talk about that offline if you wish. And how does this tie into our broadcast efforts and what we're doing with marketing and social media, getting your business out there? Here we have Drew Gordon, the voice of high school football for decades here. We've known Drew. He serves on our Occupational Advisory Committee and provided a wonderful testimonial about our shop. We can do the same if you have an interest in welding, if you have an interest in auto mechanics. You want to promote the shop area, you come on into the school and we'll promote your business as you're promoting Jeff Tech, and we'll get it seen. Go on. Our Alumni Association, Mr. Dave Rischel, been heading this up, very passionate about this, wanting to identify and find alumnus and bring them to the fore, tell the success stories through the power of media, get it on the web, get it on local television, and again, continue this process of promoting the school, promoting economic development, promoting quality of life here in central Pennsylvania. These success stories are out there.
I'm here today to tell you a little bit about Co-op. We offer 14 programs, and we can co-op with you in the morning or the afternoon. Our students come from all the different shops. They can come in the morning or the afternoon. They can work for you part-time. We offer part-time services for you. They can work in the morning, in the afternoon, any amount of hours. We can do a training agreement with you. Anywhere from 3 to up to 44 hours a week, the students legally can work for you. I don't recommend the 44, but of course that is totally up to you, and we work out a training agreement. There are some stipulations that we have to work out, and I work with you when we get to the training agreement. Okay. Yeah, some of the employers that I'm working with are right here. I have several in Brookville, but these are the employers that I'm working with right now. I have been working with 50 so far. I have a internship that I've been working with in Reynoldsville, and she takes students, but that's the only internship. But these are the employers. What's new with Co-op right now is that we have to have clearances that you work with, and I know that clearances are not brand new, because if you're involved with any type of student, with a softball, a church, you have to have the clearances. I've made the clearances so simple, they're all online, and the only thing that you have to actually do is to get out of your office, you have to go and get your fingerprints. But that is something you have to have. And you have to have workman's comp. Those are the two things that you actually have to have prior to going into a co-op situation for me. Let's see, that's there. That's your clearances. And like I said, I've made it very, very easily. And actually, I cannot have the student be on your site as a co-op employer until we have the student with the employer with the clearances. You as an employer, what you become the teacher, because I'm going to have the student come to you as an entry level, and you actually are going to teach them additional skills. They come from the classroom as an entry level, and they know so much skills from this their CTE instructor, and you're going to give them additional skills that they're going to learn. These students, they go to Jeff Tech. They want to learn from their shop. And like Sam said, there are opportunities for them, to go on to school, and a lot of them do, but a lot of them want to stay in our area, and it's up to us to keep our youth here in DuBois and Brookville and Brockway and Punxsutawney. And if we don't start hiring our students, from Jeff Tech, they're going to go elsewhere. So this is a great opportunity for our employers, locally, all around, to get these students from Jeff Tech and give them that opportunity and give them that training, and hopefully maybe they'll stay with you, either part-time or be a full-time employee for you. We're on the web. Also, I do have some employer testimonials. I've Christ the King. She's been working with me for 4 or 5 years. Niagara Cutter, they've been with Jeff Tech forever, and they continue to work every year. They contact me every year. They take 2 to 3 kids. I have brochures that I'd like to give to you. Lexi had just did an up-to-date, a beautiful up-to-date color brochure with new students working at the different places. I'd like to pass that out. I have my business card with an email and my phone number and my direct extension. So if there's a need in any of the areas, nursing home, I could do culinary, I can do IT, and also, of course, the health assisting. So we can think outside the box as well and put that student in your business. You know, in the auto field, we could do, you know, digital as well as the auto mechanics field for you. And that's it. Okay, so if you have any questions, feel free to, you know, contact me.
Outstanding, thank you. All right, so we know how Jeff Tech serves our community in terms of educating our youth. Are you aware of our very robust and growing adult education program?
Okay, thank you.
Well, you're about to be. Please welcome Megan Bundy.
My name is Megan Bundy. I am the Adult Education Coordinator at Jeff Tech, so I do represent all of the post-secondary educational opportunities. So, of course, the two of these, my colleagues here did explain to you a lot about what's happening at a high school or secondary level, but I'm here to just give you a quick overview about what's happening at a post-secondary level. A post-secondary level means that any student coming to me with already having the high school credential, with having the high school diploma, or I can assist them with earning their GED. From that point, we can look at different career pathways, different training opportunities that we do have available to adult students. So currently at an adult level, we have 15 full-time programs. Two of our most popular programs would be our practical nursing program and our very newly added CDL commercial driver's licensing program. We have recently gone into partnership with Barber Trucking directly here out of Brookville, out there in Route 28. And it's funny, I have to make the tie-in here. Mr. Ettaro talked a lot about, you know, industry involvement and partnerships and things like that. I don't know how aware you are of Barber Trucking, but Barber Trucking CEO Joe Barber is a Jeff Tech graduate. Joe is very, very passionate about Jeff Tech. I will say that without Joe, without Barber Trucking, without Joe's staff, we could have never created this partnership. They have brought to the table an enormous amount of information, of resources. It's just been a fabulous experience to date. We're just now getting off the ground and running with that program. But so far so good, we're very happy. And I will say at an adult level, we are looking to do that sort of arrangement again. You know, we're currently looking at some other avenues, some other programs that we might be able to offer. You know, how can we create other partnerships with local industry to partner together to offer additional training. So just some very exciting news there. Other than our full-time programs, we do have some short-term evening programs that do happen after hours, some hobby-related courses just for fun, some different certification courses. For example, ServSafe is a certification you have to have in order to work in the food and restaurant industry. We do Pennsylvania State inspection training after hours to be able to inspect motor vehicles, to drive on the roadways. A lot of different very small short-term courses that happen after hours. That everything is here in the brochure that I think Lexi did pass out to you. Also on the back of the flyer there, it does explain to you about a recent partnership. We've been in, probably about a year and a half now. We partnered with an online educational system that allows us to offer almost 400 short-term online courses. And they, again, range from computer classes to hobby-related classes to knitting and exercising and sewing and Microsoft Word to payroll to, I mean, the array is quite large on the online training courses. The courses are 100% online. Student never has to come to my building for any reason. So those students who have, you know, difficulty traveling or commuting, you know, again, I've seen a lot of business people use those courses. Matter of fact, I had a large organization that used the training for some of their secretaries. They were transferring into a new electronic system, a payroll system, so they found the courses here online that they needed. Their employees were able to take the training online at work. You know, the employer gave them 30 minutes at the end of the day to work on this course. They never had to come to my building for any reason. You know, they can pay online, enroll online, take the course online. So it's very simple. So I encourage you to look at that list. If there's something specific you feel you need just a little brush up on, or one of your employees or someone needs a little brush up, I encourage you to look at that listing, because it's very large, and a lot of the courses are unique. So again, I encourage you to look through that. So again, this brochure just kind of in a nutshell gives you information about adult ed in general. Again, my contact information is all here. Questions, comments, anything I can help you with as far as your business goes. If you have some sort of development idea, myself and my administrative director, Barry Philman, we'd love to sit down and talk to see what we can possibly work out in the future. So thank you again for having us. We appreciate it.
Let me ask you this. Based on what you're seeing here, the marketing materials that are being put in your hand, the professional level in which we're presenting our school, how many of you do you think that that level of marketing expertise would help you in your sector, in your business? Anybody? Yes, whether it's a website, whether it's the video. Did anybody watch the nice newscast that we put out inviting you here today? Whether it's media, electronic, marketing systems, everything that you are seeing in terms of Jeff Tech is coming from our marketing and outreach department, which is myself and Lexi, and the students of the Digital Media Arts program. We have one of the most advanced studios, from what I've seen in the state, project-based model, which teaches the kids how to envision, craft, plan a project, execute the project, just like we do in the real world when we write a contract for a client. This is how we're teaching, and the results are right there before you. Go to our website at jefftech.info. Watch some of the videos. Go to our YouTube channel. Check out what we're doing to serve our community through Du Bois TV. It will blow your mind that this is coming out of a high school, and we can partner with you through service learning, putting our kids to work through co-op, getting these young marketing experts that know these digital media technologies, putting them to work for you and your community. Very exciting stuff. This is one of our projects. So when you talk about image and graphic design, this is a wall. The kids actually build a wall that's about, what, Lexi, 24 feet wide and 18 feet tall. We print this on our oversized printer. You walk into the IT Academy and you see artwork like this all over the place. It's crazy. Some of the technologies, photography, audio production, videography, video editing, illustration. You see before you graphic design, page layout, web design. If you're seeing it on TV, if you're finding it on the internet, if you're holding it in your hand in terms of marketing materials, these kids are absolutely amazing, and our shop is exploding. I just got news that we've now topped over our 40 and have 46 kids lined up for next year, and they're still turning kids away. So we have more opportunity and more students than we know what to do with. Guess what? I know what to do with them. It involves you. We want to put them to work for you. Keep going. All right, how do we do that? One of the things that you can partner with us is our Digital Media Arts television show, which is called The Digital Edge. We actually have a full-on broadcast level TV show. Maybe Jamie can send you a link. You guys can check it out on your own, where we bring professionals in. We're going to bring Jamie in here before the end of the year because her degree is in marketing and digital media. We're going to talk about opportunities within this career cluster. The kids get an opportunity to interview a professional. We produce an actual television show, put it out on local cable TV and the internet, and we sell sponsorships in that show. So one easy way that you can get involved would be to actually purchase an ad as an underwriter for our television show. Goodwill around. You can get a television commercial out of it for a fraction of what you would pay just for the commercial itself if you would buy through Comcast cable. And you're helping students learn. And what do we do with the money? Keep on going. Lexi, why don't you come up, take it up from here.
Okay, well, with our sponsorship money, we are able to go on field trips or use the money for some sort of educational trip that we can go on that our students can get experience. So here are some pictures of our field trip to Pittsburgh. We went to Heinz Stadium, and we also went into pictures of the architecture and art, which was really cool. We had video cameras and still picture cameras, and it was really nice to go see all the beautiful buildings in Pittsburgh. We went to Heinz Field. We took pictures along the way. Here you can see us in the stadium. This is us in the press box. So it was really cool getting to sit where, reporters sit for the big games. And here's us in the control booth, which isn't normally part of the Heinz Stadium tour, but since we're a digital media program, we were able to go in and see where all of the magic happens on game day. And we met the head game day producer, Chris Burns. That's him in the back. This is our group picture. And it's really cool because he graduated from a vocational school too. It was in Ohio, right? And he actually, it was in like audio cables.
Yeah, it's actually a really powerful testimony.
Yeah.
I was kind of joking around and thinking I was going to be a little bit of a smart aleck, and I said to the guy, Chris, where'd you go to college? He says, I didn't go to college. What'd you do? I went to the recording workshop, which is a technical certification in audio recording. He wanted to become an engineer. This is a young man. We joke around. He looks like one of my students. Young guy, right?
Yeah.
He went to school to become an audio engineer to record bands. He wanted to make CDs. Got a job as a grunt laying fiber optic cable right out of school for the Steelers. Worked his way up. Some years later, as I bet you the guy wasn't probably, he had to have been in his early 30s, very young. He's the head of game day production for one of the most successful NFL franchises in the history of NFL franchises. That's the testimony. That's the power of a career in technical education. And your sponsorship of our show not only helps to advance that opportunity for our kids, but we utilize that opportunity as well to gain viewers and promote all of Jeff Tech. So the kids are learning that civic responsibility. Everything that we do is to pound and pound this message of the importance of this school. So Lexi, very nicely done. And anything else you want to add before we wrap it up?
Basically, Jeff Tech is an amazing school. It's given me so many opportunities. I just can't even say enough about it. I would recommend it to anyone.
What is that?
These are just our 2016 milestones. We did the Christmas banquet, we did portrait pictures, and also pictures of Santa. Our OAC initiative.
Yeah, you have to go to our website to see all of this. This all came out of our shop.
Yeah.
And these are the opportunities that we were talking about for you and as industry people to lend your testimonials to our efforts.
Yeah.
Our new website.
Updated website. Yeah.
Again, all came out of our shop area, and that is our phenomenal studio.
Mm-hmm.
Some of you all came, there were some board members that came to a joint meeting last month and got to see the little dog and pony show there. If you want to come and utilize the studio for your own needs, recording a presentation, doing a live broadcast on your website, whatever it is, we are wide open to possibilities. And remember, just because I happen to wear the hat of an instructor as well, it's not all about digital media arts. You may come to me with a healthcare need. You may come to me or through Rose or Mrs. Bundy for auto mechanics desire, a need to market an opportunity to bring together the community for your agenda. It's not about the digital media arts at that point, but it is, because my kids are going to go to work providing that service to you as the client. So even though you may not have an interest in IT, you do have an interest in marketing, you do have an interest in education, you do have an interest and a vested interest in helping to promote this school. And that said, you have my contact information, and I wait to hear from you. Thank you very much, Jamie, for putting this together. You all have a great day.